is yet another Liam Neeson action thriller directed this time by Jamie Collet-Serra. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce his name. I apologize if I got it wrong. The movie stars Liam Neeson, like I said. It also stars Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson. I see Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson in a lot of movies together. I feel like I see them popping up together all the time, which tells me that they really, really, really enjoy working together. Or they're fucking. I don't know. But either way, nothing would surprise me at this point, but it's a random observation for me. So in The Commuter, Liam Neeson stars as an ex-cop turned insurance salesman, and he has to commute or ride the train to work and back home every day. I suppose they could have just called it the train rider, but I guess that doesn't flow off the tongue marketing-wise. Either way, he rides the train every day, and then one day he's approached by this mysterious woman on the train, played by Vera Farmiga, and she comes to him with a really crazy proposition. Basically says, okay, there's a reward here, there's a bag with some money and you can have it, but in order to get that money, you have to find somebody on this train for me. Find out who it is. This person is of utmost importance, of grave significance. And so Liam Neeson tries to get out of it. That doesn't work. He gets blackmailed, he gets threatened, and so eventually he has to settle down and become an ex-cop again and try to figure out who is this mysterious person he's supposed to find and why he has to find them. How taken should you be with another unknown Liam Neeson action thriller in January? Is this another solid hit? Is this the one that's going to make you run all night nonstop to go see The Commuter? Jokes aside, yeah, it's a pretty decent watch, I'll say that. Jamie Collet-Serra is a director who has directed movies like The Shallows, he's directed Non-Stop, and the one thing I've always respected out of him is his ability to bring out a really good, committed performance from his lead actor. Liam Neeson is pretty good in almost everything he's in, but again, I wanted to give a special shout out to the director because he does a really good job at bringing out the best of the people that are in his movie. Liam Neeson gives a very good, workman-like performance in this film. He's an ex-cop, he's trying to do the right thing, he's on this mystery train, it's basically Clue on a train, and for the most part, he does a very good job. I would say that almost everybody in the movie gives a very workman-like performance. Vera Farmiga is really hot, and she's not in the movie all that much, to be honest. She shows up, and then she kind of disappears. But when she's in the movie, she's workmanlike too. This movie does have some very entertaining action sequences and fight sequences that take place in a claustrophobic area like a train. So in that sense, the comparisons to Non-Stop, I mean, they're inevitable and unavoidable. I will say I respect the fact that this movie did try to take its mystery seriously. I mean, yeah, there are definitely some moments of 90s cheese or action thriller cheese, like really cringeworthy, corny moments where you're just kind of like, well, all right, Liam Neeson, he helps sell it, so I guess I'm okay with it. That said, they did take the mystery element of this movie seriously. They did spend quite a bit of time trying to flesh out the mystery behind this mystery passenger on this train. The other things I do like about this movie is that Liam Neeson is not the unstoppable all-time badass that he's been in previous films. Now, the dude is vulnerable. The dude gets his ass handed to him a couple of times in this movie. And I like the fact that as Liam Neeson has gotten older and as he's transitioned into an elder statesman of the action thriller genre, at first he started off as kind of an old badass, but now he's a badass who's old. And in that sense, he brings an everyman quality to his action scenes in these films, and I really appreciate that now. Unfortunately for me, a large portion of this movie feels telegraphed. It feels like there are plot points that are set up that you know are going to come back into play later, and it all kind of starts to feel predictable, probably around the second act. I'm not saying the entire movie's predictable. I mean, there are definitely a few twists that caught me by surprise or whatever. I would say that they started telegraphing certain things in the script, and that just kind of took me out of the movie for a little bit. I'll say there are some scenes of hyperactive editing where things are moving really fast and things are being cut in a really fast way. This kind of hyperactive editing also leads to some really obvious CGI and some really obvious CGI stunt doubles. It doesn't take away from the entertaining quality of the action sequences, but I gotta point them out because that is something I noticed while watching the movie. I think the biggest problem that I have with this film is that it feels kind of generic for a movie that has Liam Neeson in it. Maybe it's because Liam Neeson has been in so many of these action thrillers that each one feels more and more generic, but in this film, they don't really do anything to distinguish it or set it apart from previous Liam Neeson action thrillers. There's this huge sense of been there, done that by the time I'm done watching this movie. Yeah, it feels a lot like Non-Stop. It feels a little bit like Unknown. It feels a little bit like Taken. It feels a little bit like all of these things wrapped up into one movie, except it takes place on a train. So in that sense, there's really nothing here that I haven't seen before, and the film doesn't really push the envelope on old man, former badass on a train trying to find people. It feels kind of like an assembly line Liam Neeson action thriller, like one that they were just obligated to put out in January. Having said that, I did enjoy myself watching this film. I think it's entertaining, and I think that other people, especially if you're a fan of Liam Neeson, will enjoy the movie the same way I did. So I am going to give The Commuter, or no, I want to call it The Train Rider. I'm going to give The Train Rider the low end of Man of Steel. Golden age. Just above average this time for Liam Neeson, but I'm looking forward to seeing what other projects him and Jamie Collette Sarah collaborate on in the future. Guys, so give me your favorite Liam Neeson action movie of all time. Just go ahead and pop that down in the comment section. Like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and as always, if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.